Welcome back. Minnesota is home to some unique water towers, from Rochester's Ear of Corn to Lindstrom's Coffee Pot. They're part of form, part function. Until they aren't. At least 50 water towers in our state are now decommissioned, not working, but are still up. And Audrey Russo explains why this standing tradition likely won't topple anytime soon.
Every day at noon and 6.
Predictable as a pattern. The heart of Osseo,
It rattles everything.
sits high above its people.
Not everybody's got one in their backyard.
It also rests on the city seal
It's an easy landmark.
and on every lamppost.
Tell people, hey, I live by the Pony Water Tower, and they go, oh, okay, they know right where it's at.
Went into service in 1915.
At 88 years old, it stopped pumping.
It hasn't held water for some time.
But discussions to tear it down 10 years ago
It can be expensive to keep up.
were met with the pulse of hometown pride.
Nobody wanted to see it go.
Osseo residents got the water tower listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
It's so cool to see communities say this is worth it to us.
A rhythm of revival
Water tower nerd would be
Stu Thornley
a good description.
can follow closely.
Oh yeah.
He's an educator with the State Health Department's drinking water program.
Started here in the 90s. I've climbed a few water towers. I believe there are 969 active water towers,
He says the desire to keep the old one standing
and there's at least 50
runs
that are like this.
in Minnesota's veins.
And then it takes somebody to say, let's not tear it down. Let's see what we can do. Love the view and just love the adventure. And then you realize you can't think about a city without thinking about the water tower.
Minneapolis also didn't have the heart to demolish a tower, unable to keep pace with modern times.
Goes back well into the 19th century.
Stu says upkeep can cost a city tens of thousands of dollars, usually in grants.
You've got to inspect it. And then once you have it, what does it keep standing? So there's a financial investment, there's a commitment to it.
Not every retired tower is destined to become a landmark. But the threat of absence
Not necessarily thinking about it until there's a reason to think about it.
can make a community grow fonder.
We'll get out at Marshall Avenue.
It was built in 1940.
Shakopee is circulating cash now
It serves the purpose for everybody.
to keep a tower you'd think would be on its last legs
We're not going to decommission it.
from flatlining.
In 1946, Popular Mechanics, they featured it in an article. Within the next 3 years, this will get reconditioned again, inside and out. We're going to keep it in service as long as we can.
This is the one that we take pride of, right?
Holding on to a beaten history.
One of those marvels of engineering.
It's a thought that's constantly ticking for Stu,
Yep.
who's 1 year out from retirement himself.
My climbing days are over. They hold memories. They don't hold water, they hold memories.
Daily rhythms we hardly notice,
And we don't want that to go. I love tradition.
ending up at the heart
It's pride for cities.
of who we are.
Saying, no, you know what? That tower means something to me.
Well, not every decommissioned tower gets landmark status. Sometimes they remain standing because they're too costly to demolish. Thornley says engineers frequently tell cities to budget $40,000 for removal. Communities can get creative, repurposing them into backup tanks for their newer counterparts. While the Wolves can't seem to get it together, the Frost sure can and did, bringing home another Walter Cup. And those 2 goals that sealed the deal, scored by 2 of Minnesota's own. Jessica Hart visited their old schools to see how these women's hockey champions are paying it forward.
The Minnesota Frost skates into history.
It was just awesome and exhilarating that they won for the 2nd year in a row.
The only team in the PWHL to lift the Walter Cup.
For them to win again in overtime was just amazing.
An amazing moment for the players, an amazing sight for the fans, especially for Kendall Hassler and Bailey Gray.
Kelly Panic, our high school coach for 4 years.
Kelly Panic, a Frost forward, coaches them at Benilde St. Margaret, a Minnesota native who scored the first goal in the final face-off.
And we can see her jersey in the hallway every day when we walk in. So it's a reminder, she can do that, we can do that.
Kelly's goal got the puck moving, but it was a Mound West Tonka grad who sealed the Frost's fate.
I was so excited, especially seeing Liz score the winning goal.
If Liz can do it, so can I.
Allie Butler and Georgia Harmer have been playing hockey for more than a decade, and both look up to Frost forward Liz Scheppers.
It's truly inspirational, and it just makes you really want to put in that extra effort to try to get to where she is.
I don't even have really words for it. It's just like, wow, she is playing out with the PWHL. She is the Minnesota Frost.
The Minnesota Frost, a team who's 1 season away from a Walter Cup hat trick, a team of role models inspiring young women across the state.
It's very inspirational to me personally just because I want to play college hockey, and so it's just really helped additionally push me to be able to get there.
She wants us to succeed as much as she wants herself. Like just the late night texts and like videos of like our film, and she's like, hey, watch this. I think you need to be better at this. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be playing a game right now?
As the Frost skates into history, they're helping the next generation write their own. In St. Paul, Jessica Hart, KARE 11 News.
Stick with us. More news and weather is coming up after the break.